it's great to have a job that you're passionate about or to have a business that you're passionate about. But running a business of your own, even if it's something that you're extremely passionate about, is not necessarily for everybody. So I don't know you personally well enough or at all to say whether it would be better for you to do whatever other job you've got going on and use some of that money to buy herbs, or you're obviously passionate about herbs, so maybe it would be better for you to have a business that is doing that. But here's what I think is important for anybody contemplating such a thing to understand, is that even when you are doing a business that is based on something that you have a great passion for, like herbs in your case or in my case, I think it's really key to note that 90% of your time is going to be spent on things that have absolutely nothing to do with that. What do I mean by this? Well, of course, I have a great passion for consuming these herbs, for sharing them with others, for educating people about them, for discovering incredible sources of these herbs and overseeing the production and sourcing of them so that they are incredibly pure and high in quality. But the vast majority of what I do as the CEO of Addictive Wellness doesn't really have that much to do with that. You got to think that when you're starting a business, you're going to be doing the accounting, you're going to be doing the bookkeeping, you're going to be doing the placing of orders, dealing with customs and importing and exporting and filling out all kinds of forms. You're going to have to be dealing with city authorities and regulatory authorities at the state level, at the county level, at the national level. You got to be dealing with taxes. You got to be thinking about doing shipping and logistics. You got to be thinking about so much different stuff all the time that doesn't really have that much to do with the core at the center of the business of what you're so passionate about that got you into it in the first place. So you have to, going into something like this, I'm not saying it's all bad, you have to be, I think, a personality type that really enjoys doing a wide variety of things and taking on new and fresh and different challenges and tasks on a pretty much daily basis, because there's always something going wrong. There's always some challenge that's coming up. Smooth sailing is going to be extremely rare. And the other part is that even if you do enjoy all of that, you just got to realize getting your own business going from the ground level is an extreme amount of work. The amount of work you have to put in is dramatically more than you'd be putting in if you're working for somebody else. Both in the business in terms of the amount of time you have to put in, and however you're going to hustle to make sure that in those early stages you're still making enough money to get by. I don't think on a block, I mean, we've talked a little bit about this. I don't think we've talked that much about it, but like when we were first getting our business going, very early stages, I was getting up at 4 a.m. to drive for Uber for like 6 or 8 hours, and then would come back, and get back into the rest of our business because we needed to make some money. At the same time, and actually for quite a few years afterwards, we set up 2 Airbnb apartments that Ana Blanca managed, and in the early stages she was actually doing all the cleaning of those apartments. So it was a huge hustle for us because we weren't taking on big outside investment to get things going. We were very, very self-reliant, so to speak. And even now, as our business has obviously grown quite a bit since then, still, I work another full-time job on top of my work with Addictive Wellness. I'm a busy boy. So I say all this not to discourage you, but I just want to speak truthfully and give you a picture of our experience, because I think a lot of people, very well-intentioned people, when they hear that somebody else has a great passion for something, their first thought is, you should start a business bringing that thing to the world. And I think that is very well-intentioned, but very often maybe not so much the right advice, because of the amount of time that you have to spend not focused on that thing. And that I don't think the path of entrepreneurship, as romanticized as it is these days, especially in a world of Gary V's and Shark Tanks, and while it may be a great fit for certain people, and it certainly is a really nice fit for me, is not the right fit for everybody. So I think it calls for a bit of soul searching on your part to see whether all the wild stuff that I've just described, makes it worth it for you to spend that 10% of time on the core of what you're really passionate about, and whether you'll be happy the entire time, because that's ultimately what you want, right? You want some happiness. And of course, you want to have a beneficial effect on those around you, but there's many ways to achieve that. And I think if you're doing something where you are happy all the time, is going to be a great way to do that, because just your domino effect on everybody else that you encounter throughout your day is going to be fantastic. So maybe you're in a job that isn't directly connected to herbs, but maybe you're pretty good at the job. Maybe you actually quite enjoy the challenge of that job and what you're doing there. And then you're taking herbs and you're working on your health, and you're having a fantastic impact on people who you're dealing with on a daily basis, because you're in a really excellent state of being. And I think that's fantastic and beautiful. Or maybe you're really well cut out to go start your own herb business, and if so, fantastic. I wish you all the best of luck. So ultimately, I hope you find the path best suited to you and best suited to your happiness, and look forward to seeing what happens with all of it.